Hi, Terry here, otherwise known as Lady Ross Trader. I thought I would make this video really quick to show how you could have made approximately $2,500 in today's move, which is November 22nd, just a day before Thanksgiving. I did not take this move because the move actually started in the London session. I also wanted to make this video because I've had a couple people reach out to me and say that they've been having some struggles with the Obsidian bot, and could I just pass on some information or insight. So we're going to go over some settings, and then we're going to run through the bot of what is possible, or what was possible. Even though I didn't take this trade, I did get a little bit of it in Sim and a little bit in my regular account. So nevertheless, so if this is your first time coming across my YouTube channel, first welcome, and definitely I hope you give it a thumbs up and a subscribe, and click the notification button so you don't miss out on any videos. And it's all about like trading and investing. That's the really short version. So in this video, I am using the Obsidian suite, Obsidian Indicators. And it's a host of indicators that a couple of gentlemen have put together for trading futures. There's an bot or auto component to it, and there's a manual component. And today I'm going to be going into more of the bot functionality on it. So up here in the top left-hand corner are some of the settings. We're not going to go through all of them because I have done that in previous videos. But I will say that for the most part, I am not using the Renko candles, but I am using the Hekin Ashi candles, and more specifically, I'm using them with volume. And so up here in the top left, if you see, like, these are so many settings I've played with. Some of them I use, some of them I test with. But in my Hekin Ashi, I not only do I have the minute settings, but I'll have volume. And so what has been working has been the 5K volume setting. So if I click on my configure button down here in the bottom right, hit Hekin Ashi, and then hit the 5K volume, and I edit, you'll get those settings. See, that's a way that you can set that up. And these are using the Renko, the Obsidian Renko, which is free, bars, if you will. Well, actually, in this case, it's just using the Hekin Ashi. It's not using the Renkos. But nevertheless, that's what I'm using, is the 5K. For those that you have been here before, you may have seen me set this up with 10K. I've even run this at 17.5K. As we get closer to the end of the year, if you're not aware, the volume tends to drop off. Typically in industry, the big boys are not in the market, and it's typically more retail traders. And believe it or not, we do not move the market, they do. And so the volume drops off. So I'm using a lower volume indicator that it will take to create the next candle. And so I like to keep it at 5K. I have tested at 2,500 and 1,000, but it tends to get really choppy. So I don't really like to do that. So I keep it around 5K. It takes longer. You're only going to possibly get 1 or 2 moves a day. But when you get those moves, it's well worth it. And I'm going to show you that in this video. So having said that, we don't know if we were doing this in real life, we would set this for longs and shorts, buys and sells. I would set it on automatic, and then I would arm it. Now, before I arm it, there are a couple of settings that are in here for setting the trend filter, how strong it is. And so I used to have with my Hekin Ashis just 26. So if you go over here to the trend panel, it's 26, and then this trend filter was also at 26. And another member mentioned this. This is not me. This is something that he shared with me, that he was doing 50 and 26. Now, honestly, I believe I have this correctly, but this was working for me in my testing. So I changed this to 50, and it would allow for some of the wickiness that would happen, so that it didn't get me out the trade. As you can see, like over here, it's really kind of, you get this wick, and it could, hit your stop loss, and then you'd be out of the trade. I also like to trade with the MACD. The MACD, when it's tight like this, also helps me to know I'm in chop. Like, even though you could kind of play this if you're really good at scalping, I am not, so I don't try to. This is for the people that are wanting to do maybe a longer approach, a little maybe less stressful, or maybe you'll find it less stressful. But I look for the MACD to be less close together when I'm trading down here. So I'm going to arm this. Now, I know this move started around 4 or 5 in the morning, and I'm just waiting for a confirmation, and I'm just going to do one contract, and then I have my ATM strategy. So this would be our monitoring, we're profit. And then up here, if you can see, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Going back, playback. This is not real. This is, again, all for educational purposes. Do your own due diligence. I am not a financial advisor. All that other stuff, blah, blah, blah. You could do your own risk. Do this at your own risk. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Otherwise, we do not want to watch this real time. And I'm going to maybe make this 30x.
Reversing.
And I forgot to mute this a bit. Let me mute this so that you don't have to hear her. Hopefully this is still picking up my mic and information. This will be interesting. If it's not, let's find out. All right, I paused the video really quick so I could mute the sound, because Obsidian makes a bunch of sounds that it's telling you when it's reversing. Hey, we might have a change in candle direction, all that other kind of stuff. And I didn't want that to get recorded, and I don't want to compete with Obsidian, so I needed to verify that. All right, so now we have our bot armed. And so what I would be looking for in real life if I were up is I would be looking like we had some separation in our MACD. I have my trend filter that's now green. So I could turn off my shorts and say I'm only looking for buys in this case. That's one way of doing it. But if we weren't sure, we could have them both on, and we'd be waiting for it to maybe get us in the trade. Now, I am going to speed this up just slightly, just a bit. I see my MACD is starting to cross. This is green. I have some separation here, but I am just going to wait for it to get me in the trade and confirm that we're either going to have a bullish trend or uptick, or whether we are going to have a bearish trend in this particular move. Now, we know at this time of day, or not at this time of day, but I already know that it goes up. So it starts to get me in. It may retrace some. In fact, I'm going to leave it at 50. But I'm going to trust that whether or not it's going to get past this red order block. This is a free indicator that I happen to use in Ninja. By the way, if you want to, you can join my free community. The link will be in the description below, and it's free to join and just share and learn as we go through this process together. And so, as I have said in other videos, when this is running, I'm expecting at least 100 ticks in a move. So even for me, I will fully confess that I have to like keep my hands off of the mouse and not move my stop loss up, because a lot of times when I've done that is I've shortchanged myself. It's gotten to a pause or something, and then it may seem like it's going to do a retracement a little bit, but I've moved my stop loss too tight, and then I get out. And once Obsidian has this the signal that we're going in whatever direction we're going, it doesn't give you another signal to sort of get back in. So you can do it manually, of course, but you're shortchanging yourself, and then you're sort of second guessing and not really sure. I'm not saying I don't move it, but I at least let it try to get past 100 ticks before I move the stop loss. So here we are right here. And if you aren't familiar with, I forget the name of this indicator, it's a free indicator too. Despite how many ticks we may be up totally, this will tell you based on your stop loss that if it totally reversed, this is how many ticks I would be at, which is 79, and this would be I would get at $395, despite down here being at 775. So a lot of people are like, wait, the system didn't get it right. What's going on? It has to do with where your stop loss is. And so I might again, it's so tempting, but I have these conversations with myself. It is not the goal to get every single drop of the move, but to get the most of the move safely. And so, and to not shortchange ourselves. So I will let this go. It's, look at this, almost 600 ticks, even at 775. So it's getting a little close. I'm going to move it just a little bit and let's see what happens. There is a point that I know, yes, it does reverse, right? So I'm going to pause this and say, okay, we've got 815, which is really good, right? So what I see is that it could be retracing. I don't know in the real world. I don't know, but I know this candle got here and this candle got here. So as I said, once Obsidian has had its signal, and I don't really have a true reversal, that it may, let's say this continues up. What I'd be looking for is that it needs to break this point. Otherwise, it's going to do a retracement and then it may continue on. So for grins and giggles, I'm going to set just above it, just a little bit above it. I'm going to set a buy limit, and that if it continues up, like if it breaks this point, then I know it's going to continue up. But in my trend here, it's up here. It had this little bit of reversal, and I'm looking at it's like 8 o'clock in the morning, right? So, and I think today it did have some 8 o'clock news, 8:30 news. So let's see what's happened. So I'm going to disarm this because I'm not confident that it's really not going to retrace, or if I think it's going to break. And so I'm going to disarm this and be safe and see what happens. So I've set this manual, a manual order to see if it's going to get me in this order or in this trade. And so let's see. I think this actually gets me in, but I think at 8:30 it might stop me out. Let's see what happens. And I might have got in a little bit premature. Yeah, I think this was actually the top point. So we'll see. So down 60 tick, that's a lot of ticks. So let's see what happens. Let's see if it continues on up. And if it really gets past, let's see, this is sped up. So yeah, that was really the point, was really here. But now it's starting to continue up. I'm still negative. So if you look, even though it started to move up, if I don't move my stop loss and behave up, I lost a little bit there. And I think, so again, we're not sure. So we could set this at, if it breaks this, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and buy the bid. I was trying, I mean, this is at 50x speed, but if it were at a lower speed, we would have time to put in our order and have it wait. But again, so now we're going up. This is a lot. What time is it? 9:34, 9:35. Now I'm going to let it get, I might move my stop loss a little closer because it's over 1,000 and some ticks. So there we go. So I have done this a couple of times this morning, going back. And so now we've got like 1850, but before I had gotten like over 2400. And so that becomes reading the charts a little bit better and not getting stopped out and not moving your stop loss. But still at 1850, I don't think that's a bad trade at all. And that was from this move all the way up. And if you're wondering what my EMAs are, these are 3 and 34. And so some people like to trade just the EMAs, like not even use the bot, but I like the bot. It gets me in more sure. And it's less stress for me, and I will just ride that up as long as possible. And even if we had stopped it before at 815, or maybe we do multiple contracts depending on your comfort level as well as the size of the account. Like if it's a 25,000, a 50K, or 100K, or whatever account, might depend on how many contracts you feel comfortable with, especially with the drawdown and the stop loss values that you set. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Definitely, if you're looking to get a trial of Obsidian, the link will definitely be below, as well as you can join. I have a small but growing community where we discuss some of not only Obsidian, but other software about trading and investing, not just always about futures. So otherwise, hopefully you'll have a great Turkey Day, and hopefully you'll keep on trading. Talk to you later. Bye. So the next part of the video is without sound. It's just me going through, showing how I got through to get 2770 in the move. And it just goes to show you that sometimes getting out too early can have a significant impact to what you end up with at the end of the day. And that's okay. Sometimes it's about being green and moving forward. But I wanted to show that I had gotten to at least 2,500 before, even though when I was trying to record and do everything, I didn't reach that level. So enjoy the rest of this clip. Again, it's without sound and sped up. Bye.